All right, folks. 2004 Suzuki Eiger 400 4x4 came in not running right, and a quick compression test showed us we were a little bit low on compression, should be 148. And then after a quick check of the valves, found out the valves seem to be adjusted properly. Sometimes you'll have out of adjustment and it'll be low on compression, but everything's good there. So nothing more to do at this point except start tearing her down for an engine rebuild. So let's get into it and see what we find in here, shall we? This is what often doesn't get thought about, when you have to do like an engine rebuild or what have you. I've already spent hours stripping off the rack and all the plastics and all that kind of stuff. And then, you got to get this engine cleaned up the best you can because you don't want contaminants getting in your new rebuild. I already scraped, see if I get a picture. Sorry, the lighting's not the best, but it was caked out way out here all the way down to these plugs and everything, and I scraped all that off and brushed it off already. And I'm getting ready to power wash it. You can see how much the owner did confide in me that this one has been submerged. There's no doubt about that. And yeah, if I didn't already, I'll pop up the picture of what that looked like before I scraped it off with the screwdriver and the brush. It was caked all the way up to the exhaust there. So yeah, I got to get all this stuff cleaned up before I get the motor stripped down so we can find out exactly what's going on here. 2004 Suzuki Eiger 4x4 top end rebuild. Just a quick clip before I get the power washing her. Okay guys, got her sprayed off and got her back in here where it's warm and started the tear down on it. Had a pretty tough time with the exhaust there, so I was trying to film, but I was all over the place trying to soak this bolt and heat that bolt and what have you. So anyway, I'll just pop up some pictures here. Ended up having to cut off a bracket on the back there just so I could get the two apart. Good thing for PB Blaster and a little bit of heat, I tell you. Goes a long ways on these. I did get all that dirt off that motor. You see, remember that was all caked on there? Here's a picture. But a customer did confide in me. Somebody did submerge this one in the mud one time or had it pretty bogged down or what have you. So we kind of expected that. But anyway, getting started on it here, got the rocker box off, got that exhaust off, and now I can get in here and get this top, start tearing this down and see what we got going on and find out exactly what I'm going to need parts-wise. If the cylinder's all worn out, then I'm just going to I'll get a cylinder and piston kit. And you know how I do. I'll get the valves all cleaned up, relapped, and new seals on them, all that good stuff. So, yeah, let's get her torn down. Okay, at first glance, I'd like to draw your attention to this area right here. Kind of hard to see right now. I'll get a better shot here. I'll move the camera. Okay. There we go. What you can see there is you can see an arch shape right there. Like, see where that black ring is here? And the black ring's right here. But right here you see a little arch in it. And it corresponds, and again, I'll get you a better shot here. There's a clean spot on the top of that piston. Looks like right there's where we're losing a bunch of compression. I don't know yet where it's going, but that's the corresponding spot. So that piston's sitting in there like that. Let me get a little closer here. Let me get you out of the tripod, because I thought that was going to work good, but hold on one second. Okay. So what I'll do is I'll come over here so you guys can see. Now you can see a little better. See that arch I'm talking about? But it's nowhere else on the cylinder. It's just right there. And then that side, we got a good bit of wear in there. Okay. Anyway, that's not working real well. Here, let me back up here just a tad. Sorry, it's hard to hold the camera with the oily hands. These parts got oil all over them. But like I was saying, if you look at the piston, see, this looks normal here all the way around. It's a little discolored. And then when you come around here, you can see that clean spot. And I'm pointing to right here on the piston where my thumb is. See how it's stained there, and then you get around this spot. It's really clear, and that lines up perfectly. One second, let me get my hand wiped off. It lines up perfectly with this situation. You can see where, let me get this tilted up here. Hang on, guys, I'm working with, I need 3 hands, and I got 2 oily ones. But maybe you can see a little better what I'm talking about there. This is the top of the cylinder. See, I'm trying to show you like this. As I move in, you can kind of see that little arch that I'm talking about in there. But if you look on the other side here, you don't see it anywhere else. And of course, that's where the piston's thrusting. Okay. All right, I won't, I think you get the point here. I won't just keep going on. There you go. That's the first thing I saw. So it could have been coming out and actually leaking out of the head. I haven't seen signs of a blown head gasket. Actually, the head looked pretty good. We got right here. The valves, all in all, look really good. I do see here where maybe some air was pushing into the timing chain area. Very possible. But otherwise, you know, it could have been getting out. It could have been seeping. It doesn't take much. It wasn't completely down, but it was really, really low. That and the fact that the cylinder is just, I don't know if I can get, that's the bad part about it being real shiny. It's hard to get shots in there. It's worn pretty good. It does still have some cross hatching here and there, but you can see the ring and the impression of the piston in there pretty good. I'll get some better shots here. All right, guys, stand by. Okay, guys, so one thing I certainly have determined, you will see here, kind of hard to tell again with the camera, but it's really wavy in there. You can see smooth spots. I think you see what I'm talking about. Kind of hard to describe, but we're looking inside this cylinder area here, and you'll see some spots here that's kind of contrast. Here's really smooth, and the whole cylinder looks like that. All right, hang on, let me get this. Got to get the lighting just right. There we go. Now you see what I'm talking about. See how it's different? These marks here. And then there's real smooth spots. That looks like it might have been having a little bit of piston slap. There we got some grooves. And if you notice, that groove is right where, excuse me, we were talking about earlier. this section that looks like some air was escaping there. So yeah, this cylinder is not looking good here. It looks like it's just, you know, I imagine the piston's worn and it's in there slapping around, and that's what's giving it some uneven wear. So we're just going to go ahead and order a, you know, piston cylinder kit and get this thing back together and get it running right. Okay, guys. So that's going to be about it for now. I got to get some parts ordered up. You saw the cylinder was pretty egg-shaped. It's got some very unusual wear patterns in it. And that piston to cylinder gap is pretty extreme. You can see here in the picture. You can actually see the rings down in there. But yeah, it's pretty bad. So get some parts ordered up. Then we can get back on this thing here and get it together for the customer. And so for now, I'll just stop it here. And we'll pick up, like I say, got to order parts. So, you know, it'd probably take about a week or so to get them in. And then we can pick up where we left off on another video. So once again, thanks for watching. 2004 Suzuki 400 Eiger 4x4 top end rebuild. Thanks for watching.